Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. Before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to ask you guys to please take a look at my description and see how you can help donate to Fatboy Michelada y Botana. They had an unfortunate house fire and lost everything. I want us as a community to help give back to this family who's done nothing but good for so many people here in town, as well as myself here at The Public Affair. To Fatboy Michelada y Botana, I am praying for you guys. You guys, I'm pleading to you, please do what you can to help this family out, get back up on their feet. Many prayers to you guys. I love you all so much.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
That was stupid.
It was good. That was good.
That was cute, right? We should keep that. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. Now, before we continue, of course, I have to use this opportunity to thank you guys again so much for all the love and support that you continue to show for the show. I truly appreciate it. To Rogue Media Network, we got Mike and Allison back here producing this episode of The Public Affair. My very luscious guest, who I'm so excited is here, and I couldn't wait to invite on the public. We'll get to that in a minute, okay? And to everybody, who has liked, share, and subscribed to The Public Affair, you guys are the best. Don't forget to do so before this episode starts. All right, do it right now. I'm not doing it until you do it. Hold on. Okay, perfect. You did it. All right, guys. Now, before we continue, let me use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by my boy David Santabanez. With David with Alinea Real Estate, the #1 sales agent in his office. That's why he's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea. Just call it on the screen. I know a lot of you guys are really, really scared about jumping into buying a brand new home. He's going to walk you through the process step by step, and it's going to be super easy because that guy is the GOAT. David, thank you so much for all the support that you continue to give The Public Affair. I truly appreciate you. Of course, the Arturo's Frame, where Arturo y Eva de la Cruz, they do wood framing for houses and all remodeling. That's right. They also assist with building brand new homes because sometimes, like, you don't want to go move in somebody else's house, right? You want your house built the way you want it. From the ground up, Arturo's Frame has got you. Hablan inglés y español. You can call them on the screen for a free in-town consultation. You think I spoke Spanish, did you? Follow on Facebook as well, Arturo's Frame. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Oh, of course, to my boy Joseph Blancas with JB Auto Detailing, who provides mobile detailing for all of Waco and the surrounding area. Listen, he is promising 100% satisfaction guarantee, leaving your car looking brand spanking new and fresh. Listen, we don't want, who wants to go to the car wash? It was mad hot outside. It's 107. You got to wait in line. No. Listen, he's going to come to you and he's got you, and he's super affordable to you. He offers a number of different packages and prices. Just go visit jbautodetail.net. Tell him I sent you as well. Follow him on Facebook as well, JB Auto Detailing. Joseph, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And he's also involved in another endeavor with his boy Toby Lopez with Solar Guard Surveillance. They're providing top of the line home surveillance systems for any property. You know, not that cheapy $200 stuff that you're buying online. I'm talking about the high quality, top notch stuff that you can. No, I'm talking. No shade.
No,
I'm just,
yes,
yeah, you know what I
no.
mean. And they also specialize in home audio equipment, solar well pumps, solar lighting, solar gate openers, and so much more. Listen, all of the home and improvement equipment that they have, it's all top of the line. Go follow them on Facebook at Solar Guard Surveillance and call the number on the screen to book now. Toby Lopez and Joseph Blancas, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair, and welcome to the sponsorship train. Thank you so much. And of course, to Juan Morales with Waco Fencing and stuff. Listen, Juan is building privacy fences and chain link fences. That's right. Perfect for all that extra at-home privacy. He also does demolitions, builds wood decks, stone patios, and gorgeous flower beds. Contact him with the number on the screen. He's going to make your property look super snackish, super cute, and your home is missing that one thing, that privacy fence, so you can walk around any type of way you want. Juan's got you. Affordable work, but high quality as well, darling. That's right. Juan Morales, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. I truly appreciate you. All right, guys. So like I said, my next guest is... I never thought I was gonna do this. Like, no, I really thought, like, this is interesting. We tackled mental health on the show. We've tapped, especially as it pertains to Latinos, Latino men, because I'm a Latino man. And so, I'm really, really excited. Listen, I met her at the Waco Empowerment Conference just a few weeks ago. As soon as I heard her speak, as soon as I saw her, just gorgeous wavy hair, voluptuous body, and she's really smart. And the lips, I love your lips.
Thank you.
I do love your lips. I just don't do girls.
you.
Stop. Okay. Listen, she's a local therapist here, mental health therapist here in town with her own private practice. I am so honored and excited to finally welcome Miss Paulina Gonzales here on The Public Affair.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
so
for coming.
excited.
No, you know what's crazy too, because at the conference you were talking about how shy you were. Your speech was like 5 minutes long. Yeah, but now we're just like loosey goosey, and you bought me wine.
Yes,
And I thank you so much. Do you buy all your clients wine?
No.
I was gonna
not
say
at all.
I'm
No,
booking now.
just
Okay.
No, yes, I think this is a lot easier. Well, this is like usually what I do. I just talk to one person.
To
at a
one person.
time.
Okay. We should have got the couch, like, where I can lay down and I talk to you about my
Yes.
problems for an
Yes,
hour.
I should have brought my stuff.
No way.
Yeah, no, just kidding.
My audience will be like, Andrew, you are fucked up. No, but listen, thank you so much for coming. Like I mentioned, we did meet at that conference, and you are a local therapist here in town with your own private practice.
Yes.
So, just real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Vera Castillo, Annette Aguilar, that put together that conference. It was the first co-ed empowerment conference, and it just went off without a hitch, right?
Yes.
And so I would love to get your thoughts on it and how you thought it went.
I think it went really well.
Yeah.
I liked the speakers. I liked the host.
Stop it, darling. Stop it.
And I think I even like the people that were just there, like
Yeah.
the vendors, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a really good
It was
vibe.
cool,
I
right?
liked it.
Who was your favorite speaker that wasn't you? It can't be you.
Oh my goodness. That's so hard. I think it had to be Dominic
Yeah.
because we were all like really nervous.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like we were kind of talking about it.
Right.
And everybody had their tablet, and I was like, should I have brought my tablet?
Okay, she had her next to her loose leaf paper.
Yes, I had my little loose leaf paper with my kids' construction paper wrapped around
It was cute.
And then Dominic was like, I don't have anything. And I was like, but he did he did such a great job.
Everybody did really good.
Yes.
Everybody did amazing. My brother, Mauro Maldonado, my best friend, my brother, he spoke as well. He was the last speaker, and that was out of his comfort zone.
Yes, he had an iPad.
He had the whole big giant iPad.
Yes.
He texted me that morning talking about, can I bring the iPad? I was like, well, I'm sure you can. Like, bring your notes. It was his first time public speaking. It was his first time opening up just a little bit. Hopefully we're gonna have him back on the show. He's on episode 49. But that was more fun, like slutty, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that was fun. Not slutty. I shouldn't say slutty, but their girlfriends bought me slutty things, which made the episode super fun. But no, but I was proud of him too. I know I'm biased, but he was my favorite speaker. Because that's my brother. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but no, it went out great, and I liked your speech the most. But I'm really happy that you didn't. Well, not I didn't. Yes, I liked your speech a lot. I just told you Marl's was my favorite. That came out fucked up. I loved your speech. And I'm happy that you didn't say too much because I was like, I'm pulling her on my show. I am pulling her on my show, and we are going to talk about her life because it just sounds tragic. It sounds like you went through a lot of tragedy in your life.
I did. I feel like I personally did.
Yeah. Well, and what gets me about it, though, Paulina, is because for you to have gone through so much tragedy, I wonder what equips you to help people get rid of their tragedy, or even just a little bit of it. But we're going to get into that in just a second, okay? But before we go, before we continue, the episode's over. Can you talk to us a little bit about who you are in life growing up, please?
Yes. So I was born and raised here in Waco, Texas, and I kind of give my little spiel, like what I did in the beginning of the empowerment group, because I'm like, that's what makes people comfortable.
For sure.
So I'm a first generation American. I was a teen mom. I had my daughter when I was 15.
Yeesh.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I graduated, which was really, I graduated and went to college. I'm like, I guess we could talk about that more later. But I went to college, graduated with my bachelor's degree in social work from the Charleston State University.
Yeah, I got you.
And then master's degree from the University of Texas at Arlington.
Yes.
And then I'm currently going to, I'm in a doctorate program
Oh,
to get my
is that
PhD
right?
in social work.
Girl, get your life. Yes, good for you.
Doctor, future doctor.
Okay,
No, just
we should have said Dr. Gonzalez. She's okay.
Future.
I've been corrected. When I had the chief of police on the show, I didn't know what to call her. I was like, do I call you Dr. Victorian? She was like, you just call me Chief Shell Victorian. I was like, all right.
Okay. I like that.
No, you know what though? Like, I like that you brought up that you were a teen mother. I wonder what your family dynamic was like for you growing up. I mean, were you pretty rebellious, and was there things going on behind the scenes, like that you were just so sexually active, spreading your legs in school? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, she wasn't a hoe. No, I was just
no, I know. Well, I think that's like the stigma, right? Like that's the stigma behind like teen moms. That's what I think naturally people would think.
They think that they're promiscuous.
Yes,
and,
like out there.
Yes.
But no.
Okay.
I was like the complete opposite.
Quite the contrary, yeah.
Yes, like I still graduated in the top 10% of my class.
Ooh.
Was a cheerleader.
Okay.
I was in school.
Where did you go to school? Where did you go
I
to
went
school?
to school in La Vega, like my whole life.
Oh, at La Vega. Okay, yeah.
So grew up there. And so, so you would think that it would be someone like that, but that's not me. I'm still pretty much the same. Like I'm reserved and like.
It's just that study time got a little boring sometimes. And,
I think like culture it has a lot to do with it.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I was born Mexican American, so like yes, in my outside life, like American culture, like that's what I was doing, but in my household, it was Mexican culture. Like that's.
Well, explain. I'm Puerto Rican, so yeah.
Okay, well,
my mom would have whooped my ass if I got a girl pregnant at 15. Well, she had nothing to worry about because I was gay, but like just.
Well, I feel like
that wasn't gonna fucking happen. You have shit to worry about.
I feel like I feel like like, and maybe this is like a stereotype, and maybe not applies to everyone because I feel like there's still different cultures within Mexico, but like with my family, I feel like getting married young like wasn't a taboo. Like starting a family young like wasn't a taboo.
That's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Well, it's what part of Mexico?
Well, my mom's from Campeche and my dad's from Zacatecas.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But so like.
No, I get what you're saying about the Mexican culture thing though, because I went like to Mexico and like Mexico, like, not the beach Mexico, and it did seem like there was things like that going on. Not to say that there was just little girls parading themselves all over the street, but like it wasn't a taboo like you said. I mean, we were sending the freaking little kids to go get us beer. Yes. And their parents were like, okay, you know what I mean?
I think you have to grow up faster.
Yeah, so the circumstances are just different. It is weird because here, like, I wouldn't be down with that. You know what I mean? And so it's just, yeah.
Yeah, so
your parents didn't necessarily get angry with you when you were 15 and pregnant?
Well, I feel like they were like, you shouldn't have gotten pregnant.
Okay.
but they were like,
we're gonna make this work.
Yes, but it was still like, it wasn't like I'm gonna kick you out or like you're not. So I was very fortunate in that sense, and I think that is probably why I am where I am today, because it wasn't like, well, you have to leave and get out because we're not gonna help you. My parents are still very supportive.
Yeah.
I don't even think my parents really understand what I'm doing or like why I'm gonna be called doctor.
Well, because as a therapist though, there was probably nobody for you to reach out to. Wait, backtrack. I am jumping ahead. In terms of your family life growing up though, everything was pretty solid in the household.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
well.
Wait, she's like, hold the fuck up. You jump in trains here. Okay.
I always talk about this, and I talked about this a little bit at the conference, that I think like being raised by emotionally immature parents. And I don't mean that in an offensive way, because I still love and respect my parents. And I think that life experiences is still like something to say. Like, they still have some say over me or what I should or shouldn't be doing. But I think when you're raised by emotionally immature parents, like it's hard to get your needs met.
When you say emotionally immature, were they young parents too, or
No, I think
they just were emotionally immature.
Yes, I feel like a lot of people could just be emotionally immature, and I think just like not knowing how to meet your kids' needs or.
I like that you say that, and you did bring that up in the conference. I feel like, and parents, my mom and dad, please don't get fucking mad at me. I think that I handle and assess things and process things different, more maturely than both of my parents. I do. And I don't know how I was able to learn to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that like even I talk about my brother being arrested and my brother, for something really bad. And we both processed it different. To her son in her mind is innocent and does no wrong, where to me it was like, that's fucked up. And he should be in jail for longer. But you know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah. Well, I think like and so to not be offensive to parents, I talk about dialectics a lot.
Whatever. Okay, I've been offensive on the show for over 163 episodes. Okay.
No, just kidding.
No, you're good.
But like dialectics is a term used in therapy because we have like this thing called dialectical behavior therapy, and one of the skills is dialectics, and that just means that two things, even if they're different, can be true at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And so like, you could still love your brother, like support your brother.
I didn't talk to him in 7 years. Okay.
Well, your mom can still like love your brother, support your brother, like, right, and still see like good qualities in him, while still holding him accountable for things that he's done wrong.
I'd see that.
But that takes emotional maturity.
Okay.
You know what
I
mean?
So am I? Well, okay. So here's a good question: am I emotionally immature for axing my biological brother out of my life?
No, I don't think so. No, I think we all have reasons why we can't participate.
I will say I have not spoken or heard from him in 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
My brothers are Jaime Gutierrez and Mauro Maldonado. Those are my brothers. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different episode. That's episode 2.0. Okay. I want to talk to you about being a teen mom.
Mm-hmm.
You were a teen mom.
Yes.
And while your parents were, okay, you're not going to stop school. You were top 10%, whatever, La Vega. Were there still challenges with that? Like, I mean, was baby's daddy still around and stuff? Did he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, again, I give like the sugarcoat version first, and then I'm like, let me really tell you what's going on.
I don't want him finding me trying to whoop my ass now, Paulina.
No,
Okay.
He's also in jail, so you have
perfect.
to worry about it.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. But Paulina, those are the best ones, though.
No.
the guy who stole my Nintendo. It's like, well,
He stole your Nintendo.
Yeah, I was like, do you need me to go bail you out real quick? Or you can steal this one too. Like, it was one of those drunk,
I went through that.
one night stands. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, we were in our early 20s. What do you fucking expect? Yeah. We didn't know no better. I was 300 pounds and desperate. Now,
no, I feel that.
Yeah.
No, but
So he did steal my Nintendo, little motherfucker. I'm gonna go find this kid and take that shit back.
I think you should.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
Whoop
I'm
her
just
ass.
kidding.
No, it's been so long. It's been like 10 years. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Well, again, I always give the sugarcoat version because it's
This
easy.
is awesome. Go ahead.
But
awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
like I quit school for a bit.
Oh,
I
okay.
I technically like I wasn't like a dropout, but I dropped out. Like I stopped going.
Well, you were like, I can't go.
Yeah. And I think too, like the person I was with was just like not a good influence.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
Was he like, I'm gonna go get this job at Burger King? And,
no,
yeah.
we just were both like being bums basically at that point. No, I worked and stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried to work, and I did start working full time at a
Right.
restaurant and trying to do things like that. But I stopped going to school,
Oh, okay.
and it was a very abusive relationship.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
like physically abusive, emotionally abusive.
Was he physically abusive to you, or were you guys both getting mad and lashing out at each other? I mean, you were kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this. I like statistics. So
Oh, okay. No, yeah, do your thing. Yeah.
60% of teen relationships have domestic violence in it. So it's not uncommon because it's big emotions for like not big brains. Not in a
Okay.
mean way, but your brain's fully developed
Right.
around 26.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And so at 16, 15, 17, like, you have very minimal brain function to try to deal with sometimes really big issues like having a kid.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I didn't blame him a lot for that. I think that we were both young.
Right.
And like, well, you asked if, I was also abusive. And I think like there was a turning point where I was like, okay, I'm tired of being abused.
Right.
And so like I would fight back.
Well, and the only reason why I asked too is I recently just read up on an article about a situation where the woman was abusing a man.
Yes.
But
that does
nobody
happen.
talks about that. And it's the same goes to, I'm not trying to go there with you, but same thing with like molestation. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
women
Yes.
abuse young men as well.
Yes.
But that's never just like not spotlighted, but never talked about as much as the alternative, and same goes for abuse. And so that's why I asked that question. I wonder if it was something that you guys were doing to each other, or if it was something that you had to endure as a young, you know what I mean?
It definitely didn't start that way, but it definitely like ended that way.
I just got bothered by all that. I'm sorry. Oof.
Yes, no.
Somebody just shared something with me and it just like made my skin
yes.
cringe. So anyway, no, yeah, okay. So in terms of the hardships and stuff, so obviously the baby daddy, he wasn't really.
No, yes, I don't. Obviously, like he's locked up.
Yeah.
So he's
So do you get to have? Does your kid get to have a relation? No. Okay.
No.
So that's just non-existent.
No.
Now, is that a decision that you made because of choices that he made, or how does that all work out?
Yes, and I
yeah.
always tell my daughter, like, nobody gives you a handbook, and I'm a young mom too, and so I'm
Right.
like, if I'm making a mistake, I promise you I'm doing it because I think this is what's best.
Right, for sure.
And so to me, like, I'm really flexible. Like, I have like a lot of people in my family that have done like a lot of questionable things.
Yeah.
And so I'm willing to like look past a lot of things, but
Okay.
there's some things that I'm just like, you're just not a safe person.
Okay, and so for him, unfortunately,
He's just not a safe
and
person.
so I wonder how your daughter, does she understand now, or how do you as a
Yes.
mother explain that to her?
I try to talk to her a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
We talk a lot, and then therapy. I feel like
She's a therapist. Hello, Paulina.
Yes.
Why did I forget all about that? That's why you're here.
Yes,
You're a therapist.
yes.
Okay.
I not only like am I a therapist, but I really do believe in therapy, and so
Right,
I
right.
think just talking to her about it and then going to therapy, I think is going to be a lifelong process
for
for
sure.
her to understand those things.
Okay, got you. How old is your daughter now?
She's 14.
Gee.
Yes.
Oh my God, Paulina, you look amazing, girl. Do you?
Thanks.
Yes, you are. I wish I was a teen mom and looked like you, bitch. So moving on from that struggle, though. I mean, I'm again being a teen mom. You dropped that out. Well, not dropped out, but you kind of stopped going to school. You know, did the restaurant or the work thing or whatever. At what point did you decide? Okay, it's time to take control back of my life. It's time for me to get back my head in the books. You know what I mean? And put everything in perspective.
Yeah, I name drop, so I'm sorry
No,
if
name
anyone
drop,
gets
please.
mad at
we
me.
love the public affair for that. We name drop, darling. Yes.
I was working at a restaurant, and there was an older woman named Cynthia, and I would wake up like at 5:30 in the morning to be at work because it was a restaurant. So
Right.
and it was like me and her, like two people would open.
Yeah.
And I don't even know when she told me this, but she was like looking at me, and she was like, "So, like, what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? Like, is this what you're gonna do for the rest of your life?"
Right. It's just serve tables.
Yeah, and I was like,
But don't knock it, Cynthia, because I kind of miss that.
yeah.
Right? Wasn't it lit? Like
Yes,
now
it
that
was
we're
really fun.
now that we're older, it's like, oh, I bet I could go make some fucking bank now. Like when I was
Yes.
18 versus 30, I'm gonna go get a serving job somewhere real quick. I'm going to. Go ahead.
I think that would be fun.
That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna do
But
it on
it's
the
fun,
weekends. Yeah.
I think, on the weekends.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to make a living off of it. I'm gonna do it on the weekends.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
Good. Anyway.
But
she told you that.
Yeah, and I don't think she was like shading that because I feel like, well, she was older, she worked there,
Right.
and I think that's like anything that doesn't harm people and you're just like trying to live, like,
Right.
good for you,
For sure. For sure.
But I think because I was so young, that's why she was like, well, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm older, you're younger, what are you doing?
Right. Like
and
there's still an opportunity for you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if she ever knew that was the reason why. I
Really?
was like,
You should go
yes.
reach out to her.
I know.
Yeah.
Cynthia, reach out to me.
Does she still live here, you think? Or?
I don't know.
Let's
I
go,
don't know.
go to the restaurant. Where restaurant was it?
It's closed down now.
Oh shit, bitch.
Yeah.
Nah, if she served restaurants at that age, she's still serving a restaurant
You
somewhere
think
else.
so?
That's what they do. They serve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. Okay, so she really inspired you to kind of get your life back on
Yes.
track. Okay.
Yes, because
Wow,
she
that's
really
crazy.
just asked me that, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, because at some point you were probably at a comfort zone though. You were probably thinking, oh, I'm making $200-$300 a week. And, you know what I mean? And
yes.
yeah.
And it's not comfortable when you're like in like stressful, abusive situations,
Right.
but you get comfortable.
I got you. That almost becomes norm for
It
you.
becomes your normal.
Wow. What did your parents do? Did you ever share with Latinos? We did not grow up with therapy being an option. I could never talk to my parents about any issues that I was having because that was just non-existent. That this was the same for you?
Yes, I think so. They didn't understand it.
But that's what I'm saying. So what outlet did you use to like talk to somebody about I'm being abused or I'm in a toxic relationship or, I'm struggling or...
Yes, I think that's really why I'm a private person and like don't like talk a lot because I think that I didn't have anyone to really talk to at that time.
None of us. I think the first time I tackled it was with Dominic. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so interesting to me, Paulina. So I wonder, God, and it's gonna. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're gonna jump all over the fucking place.
It's okay.
No, it's gonna lead me to why you even became a therapist and how you knew that it was a safe space for you. So there was nobody for you to kind of reach out to talk about these things with.
No.
How the hell did you manage?
I just managed. I think, well, one, I do have a really supportive family. So while it wasn't probably supportive in those ways, like, I could cry and tell you about the things that I'm experiencing, it was still really supportive in other ways. That was
Right.
really helpful.
For sure.
And then eventually I grew up a little bit and was able to open up a little bit. I have a best friend. Her name's Latoya. I name drop. So
Shout out to Latoya. Yeah,
and
okay.
she's been someone that I feel like I've been really able to open up to. So
I think it's important to have those confidants in your life. Don't you
Yes.
agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then eventually I went to therapy because I was in school and going through a breakup.
Okay.
Which, I mean, my breakup took a long time. But
one of those long breakups,
but
which shall go unsaid.
yes. So I went to therapy.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really what helped me eventually.
I wonder, there's two people in my life that have seen me like break down, ugly cry, like, oh my God, you're a fucking wreck You know what I mean? And it's been like who I said earlier, I'm name dropping too. Jaime Gutierrez, who has been my best friend since I was 15. That is my brother. He has a son now who is my world, and I love that. The only kid I really like. And then my brother, Mauro Maldonado, who you met at the Empowerment Conference, has seen me just at my worst. I mean, just like down in the dumps. His kids are cool too, though. I think they like me. Yeah. So, we've been friends for 3 years. I just never thought of seeking therapy. And so I wonder what was the turning point for you, Paulina, to go seek therapy.
Yes. I think I was already in school and I was thinking, well, if I'm going to be a therapist, I feel like I should be on the other side, knowing what it feels like, because it's really nerve-wracking. Like, to go, first you have to find a therapist, and then there you have to go through like all different websites, read their bios, decide.
Well, you gotta get comfortable with them.
Yes.
Like, you're about to spill your guts out to this person. Yeah.
I went to Emma Church, and she's in Waco, and
I know her. Emma.
Yes.
She's the one with the hair and stuff.
She has a podcast, I think.
I'm gonna say this, Mike. I don't care. Oh, he can't. Mike, if you don't like this, we can take it out. We did a podcast, choose the win, like who has the best idea for a podcast contest, right? And I was one of the judges.
Yes.
You know, when I judge competitions, I'm gonna give it to you straight up. Look, Emma Church had the best idea. Emma Church was the best one, and I thought she should have won the whole shebang, and Mike picked all three of them. But but I did. I told Emma, I said, Emma, you had the best concept. You had the best idea. I think that what you wanted to bring to the table was unique and individual, and everybody else was like either didn't make sense or cliche.
Yes.
And I've not had an opportunity to like hang out with her, but I've met her a few times. I fucking love her.
Yes.
That bitch is a
she's
rock
amazing.
star. I love her. Yeah.
She's
Shout
amazing.
out to Emma Church.
Yes. Yeah. And it's really hard to be a therapist and go to therapy.
Right.
Because then you're like,
well, that's not how I do my stuff. Yeah.
And like, I already heard this, or like, I need you to tell me something different. And I feel
but
like.
But before you went to her, though, you weren't a therapist. Is that right?
Well, when I went to her, I was a therapist, but I also had other therapists that just didn't work out.
Oh, I got you.
So,
we're going to get into that later.
Okay,
yeah. I got that in my little notes. Yeah.
Yes.
You made me delete that one thing, but anyway. I'm kidding. No, okay, so as a, somebody who's studying therapy, you decided you were going to go see a therapist. Emma Church ended up being the best one.
For sure. Yes. She gives insight that I feel like even I would walk out and I'd be like, oh, that does make a lot of sense. Yes.
Well, listen, Paulina, I want to get more into your status as a therapist. I want to get more into the taboo. I want to get why you started to become a therapist, especially specifically for. I really want to talk about therapy for Latinos. I feel like we are both Latinos, and that is so important for us to go ahead and start normalizing. But we're going to take a quick break, all right? And she's going to feed me more wine. If you guys haven't recognized yet, I'm slurring my words because I don't know what the fuck wine she brought me and what shit she put in it, but this shit is awesome. Paulina, I am so excited to continue more with you, but we're going to take a quick break, and you guys, when we get back, we're going to have more of Paulina Gonzalez here on The Public Affair, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Miss Paulina Gonzalez. Before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. I love my sponsors so much. Of course, I want to give a big shout out to Banda's Hauling Service with Julian and Ana Banda. They rent dump trailers. That's right, darling. You fill it up and they haul it away. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals and haul cars in and out of town. If you need a tow as well, book now with the number on the screen and they got you. Listen, save their number, you guys. You're going to need it. They're going to be there when you least expect it. Banda's Hauling Service, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Manny Guerrero at Blue Star RV Services. He's a mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs. That's what I'm talking about. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, even food trucks, and so much more. He deals with the warranty companies so he can get paid all his labor and everything. Just pay him a small service fee and he's got you. Him and his team are completely professional and reliable. Follow on Facebook or call the number on the screen to Blue Star RV Services. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Strike a Pose Photography or Myra Gonzalez, a digital photo booth business, perfect for parties, private events, corporate events, and so much more. Listen, it's fun, convenient, and easy. Call the number on the screen and book now. Follow on Facebook at Strike a Pose Photography 23. Myra Gonzalez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Girl, I truly appreciate you. Of course, to Fernando de la Rosa with Big Bear Lawn Care. He's a small landscaping business. And listen, y'all's lawns are a hot-ass mess. Call him now and take care of that mess with a professional at Big Bear Lawn Care. He specializes in mowing, edging, mulching, and so much more. Call the number on the screen for a free quote to Big Bear Lawn Care. Fernando de la Rosa, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, oh my goodness, to Elite Barbershop with Sid Rodriguez, located on Hewitt Drive. Call the number on the screen now or download the Squire app to book. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He's going to have you looking as snackish as I have for more than 163 episodes of The Public Affair. He also has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, and Isai Reyes over there making you look as snackish as I have. Listen, Elite Barbershop, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. If you guys want to look hot for your wives, go to Elite Barbershop now. Walk-ins are welcome as well. Thank you so much. Of course, to Jay Petal and Poke with Junior Fuentes, Thomas Roberts, and the entire family. They provide delicious savory Japanese crepes and poke bowls. They also have handcrafted Thai-rolled ice cream for dessert. That's right, Donnie. You can choose from a menu item or create your own because, Paulina, I like to be in control, so I like to make my own poke bowl. Have you been to Jay Petal and Poke?
Yes.
Girl, tell them.
Love it.
What's your favorite thing to get?
A bowl.
Well, Paulina likes to customize her own bowl like I like to. Listen, locations on University Park Drive and Hewitt Drive. You can also order online at jpetaltx.com or download the app at jpetal. Thank you guys so much to Junior Fuentes, Thomas Roberts, and the entire family. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, Paulina, we are going to get right back into this episode of The Public Affair. Local therapist, Paulina Gonzales. Paulina, I don't know what you put in that wine.
I always do this.
Yes. So are you one of those bad influences that get your
I
friends
guess
drunk?
so.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, it tastes like juice.
It's fine.
No,
this is not
that
juice.
one tastes like juice.
This, you did some therapy on it.
Does it taste like juice though?
Let me see. This is the bubbly one.
Yes.
Right? Let me see.
We have to have options.
Oh.
It tastes like juice.
Yeah, this is grape juice, girl. Okay. You don't allow drinking while you're doing work, though.
No drinking.
Like,
Just
so a
sober.
client has never came and was like, okay, I just need to hit a blunt or like drink something real quick. Or...
Yes,
Yes.
but no, like I wouldn't like do it with them or like
No,
talk to
no.
them
But like
or watch
beforehand,
them.
if this is what's gonna get you to be loosen up and make you feel comfortable, then that's okay.
Yes.
I like to tell my guests to have a drink before the show, so that way you can feel. I don't ever want anybody to feel exploited on the public
Yes.
affair. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
this is not a gossip show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want you to just be you.
Yes.
And if you're gonna be loose by just having a few drinks,
Yes.
you're fine. You know what I mean?
A lot of people, drink and smoke, and so
Yeah.
I feel like that's
I've never smoked.
no.
I've never even smoked a cigarette.
No,
No.
cough, so it's not fun.
No, because I don't want my teeth to turn yellow and I don't want to have bad odor.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, you know what I
That's
mean?
fair,
And like,
yeah.
and weed, I don't know, smoking was never like sexually appealing to me.
No, you cough. It's
Well,
so uncomfortable.
It's just that, but like when I see somebody smoking,
Yeah.
I don't want to have like sex with them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just, I mean, I have, but like, I don't want to.
Me like-
You know, what is dating like for Paulina as a therapist? I mean, do you use your analyzing skills on these men? Because listen, men, we be playing games. We do. Men be playing games. I don't care. Men, please don't hate me for this. You know, the gays already hate me, but I'm a man. I've played the same games to get what I wanted. You know what I mean? Are you good at like
Yeah.
over analyzing people and like reading them and like you ain't getting in this blue dress, bitch? Like,
I was gonna say, like, obviously not. No, but I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better.
Right.
With each experience, I'm
Okay.
learning more and more about like myself and about what
Yeah.
I'm looking for. And
So who's more in the DM? Because listen, you're strikingly beautiful. Okay, so who's more in the DMs, dudes or girls?
Oh, no girls.
No girls.
No girls.
Have you wanted to dip in the lady pond once or twice?
No.
No, it's not your thing.
No,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Because
yeah.
Emma, like
Yeah.
and I love Emma. I do. I love her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, no, but I feel like I don't think. Yeah. No. Sorry.
Well, no. Okay, listen. Because
I feel like when you're like younger and you question your sexuality, I feel like I've done that. No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, well,
Is that
okay.
just me?
No.
I feel like
Okay,
that's
let me share this. Let me share this. I will share this with you,
Mm-hmm.
Paulina. I always knew from the womb that I was attracted to men.
Really?
And I think God, I'm gonna get a little personal. I think the reason why my friends fuck with me, because I do hang out with a lot of heterosexual guys. I do. I will say a lot of gay men don't fuck with me. I have a hard time making gay friends.
Yeah.
Number one, I don't relate to the struggle because nobody cared that I was gay. And number two, I don't push my ideas on nobody.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yes.
Let me do me. I don't want to fuck any of my friends. I had a very good conversation with my best friend the other day. I was like, I don't want to fuck you, dude. Like you are my brother. I will embrace you and be there for you. And you know, these other dudes that I messed with, you know what I mean?
Yes,
they ain't shit.
yes.
You know what I mean? But like, I have a hard time balancing that. Because a lot of people, when they see me with these guys, they automatically think, "Oh, you wanna be with them. You're just trying to get in their pants." But that's not the case.
No, you
Like,
have a type too.
these are my friends.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are my type, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to
Yeah.
have sex with you. Like,
Yes.
my friendship is more important than getting in your pants and ruining anything that would have.
Oh, for
do you
sure.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I have a sense of logic and understanding
Yes.
here, and so it was just different. I feel like I am different. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting off topic, you know. So do you get to use your skills as a therapist to like read somebody who might not be, you know, or does Paulina like to have fun too?
I try really hard not to be like a therapist when I'm dating,
When you're dating.
because that makes things weird. But so I try really hard not to. But sometimes it's hard, like, to not see things, and
Right.
But I don't.
Like, I know you're playing games, bitch.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, with
I know
people
you-
that play games with me, I just like cut you off.
Oh, is that right?
I'm like in this era of like cutting people off.
How old are you, Paulina?
I am 29.
Why you had to think about that?
Because I had to. I was like, how old am I?
At 32, I was just sharing with my friend the other day. You know, when I started the public affair 3 years ago, I was very promiscuous. Like, you know, even up until like maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to just sleep with anybody.
No.
I just don't. Like,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Like,
Well, I will say I'm about to burst at the seams, but you know, it's
That's
different.
fair.
This
Yes.
abstinence bullshit, but you know, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But no, like I think I'm more choosy about who I, you know, give my body to. There's those
Yes.
people who I will always because I trust you, and you know, like we just have an understanding. But just to be on Grindr looking for a hookup,
no, yeah, I've
I'm
never been on like dating apps
Yeah.
or anything.
Okay.
Well, one, I don't want to like see my clients because I think that'd be weird. but,
well, you know,
but no, no.
I've slept with clients. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, but no, not me.
No, I
but
got you, yeah.
but
I'm joking.
we're joking. It's a joke. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm like I said, I'm quick to cut someone off. Like,
Right.
you do one thing. Like, someone called me big money one time, and I was like,
you're
I was
out.
like immediately no.
Because he's like a gold digger at that point.
Or you think I have money?
I
And I
know.
don't.
I know. And my best friend just got on to me for this too. And I'm not going to get into it, but he just got on to me for sharing my financial status on the show.
Yes, no, don't do that.
But he was like, well, I didn't share like how much money I got in the bank and all that. But, you know, I try to be relatable to everybody because everybody thinks because I have the biggest podcast in town that I'm just money bags, mansion, 7-bedroom house. Bitch, who?
Two-bedroom apartment.
You know, but I understand where he's coming from. He doesn't want me to get attacked. But listen, okay, let's go back to the therapy. Okay. You as a therapist, what tactics did you use to find clients to work with? How were you able to convince people, oh, I'm like a safe space. I am comfortable to talk to. You know, I'm not just good looks in a blue dress. Like I like am educated. I am trustworthy. Because you guys have to you can't even name your clients.
No.
Yeah. Because I know when we name dropped somebody earlier off camera, you were like, I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn, bitch, my bad. Like,
you're like, we're like, we all know.
Yeah, well, no, but
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with it. But, you know, I wonder how you, as a therapist that was up and coming at the time, how you were able to, brand yourself, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I hope and I think that I try to just be authentic to me.
Yes.
Like, I'm really trying to push, because therapy is a white dominated field.
Okay.
And so I'm trying really hard to push back on all of that and, you know, say oh, this is what professionalism is supposed to look like. Well, no, this is what it could also look like. I can, you know, wear giant hoops and have tattoos and
the
still
big
be really good
perky
at my job.
lips, which I just think are amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I can still be good at my job.
Okay.
And so I think that just being authentic to who I am and representing the community that I want to work with is something that I'm really passionate about and dedicated to.
So you mentioned earlier that it's a white dominated field, which no shade to the white. We love our whites. I've slept with plenty of white men, and you know, no,
I have white friends.
That's a joke.
No, just
I
kidding.
have white friends too. No, I joke, but you know, it is a predominant therapy. God, I should really ask this to a white person on the show, but you know, they probably had a little bit more. We speak in the shoes as Hispanics, we were never allowed to seek that. We weren't allowed to talk about our problems. Everything was like, keep it in the house, move on, deal with it. And so what was it like for you to like, I can name drop Dominic Villa. No, he did. He actually referenced you and said that you were his therapist on this show. Yeah, and we love Dominic. He was looking snaggish. And so how do you
deny?
Okay, fine. He said on the show. But no, how do you chip the barriers in our community, and say it's okay for you to like seek somebody like me to talk about your problems with?
Well, I think like I said, like the things that I've been doing, I feel like I just try to stay authentic to who I am. So like when I just started my private practice, I was at a church and in South Waco, and
I love South Waco.
Yes. And so, just like they gave me like a little corner office and I was like, hey, you have to call me to come inside. Like, and so it was just really like things like that. So like people that worked at the church saw me. They're like, oh, like who's this? And it was a Hispanic and Black church. And so I think just meeting people where they are, because I'm not like, trying to like be in fancy buildings or do any of those things. Like I
had to go get you.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute? Wasn't that cute?
Yes,
I had to go get Paulina. I was like, oh shit. Okay, I want my shrimp cocktail too when I get down there. No, I'm sorry. Okay, so basically it was just like in the environment that you were in.
Yeah.
And there, I guess that you had help from maybe the community or the workspace.
Yes.
To say, hey, there's this girl here and you should go have a chat with her. Yeah.
And I think like, when I'm in my bio, like I said, I know that that's something that people look at. And I had a lot of issues with my bio because I feel like people were telling me not to do certain things. My bio, I can't tell you exactly what it says anymore, but it said something along the lines of, I want to help uplift the BIPOC community. And so BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, people of color. Like that's why I do therapy. It's because I want to help the BIPOC community.
Right.
I'm not saying that's exclusive and I won't work with like anybody else. I'm just saying that's my target population.
That's your target, right.
And I remember like when I was starting, people were like, maybe you should change that. Maybe it should be like, I want to help the community, especially the BIPOC community or something along the lines of that. And I was like, that's not what I mean.
Well, then you're just acting out authenticity at that point, right?
Yes, to make it more palatable or make it more desirable for other people.
Yeah.
And so I did it.
If I would have listened to everybody that told me what I should say in the fucking public affair, I wouldn't be. Fuck you, bitch. Like,
yes, I think that people like authenticity.
I think they do.
So
I think people resonate with that.
Yes,
the hood fucks with the public affair heavy, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. I was telling somebody today, I was like, oh, I love that my target audience is the hood. I do.
Yes.
I do. Because I feel all safe. You know what I mean? Like when somebody comes for me on social media, they go after that bitch. And I'm like,
yes. And so I feel like I live in the community that I want to work with.
Right.
I work with the community that I want to work with. Like I'm in the community. Like I live in North Waco. Now my office is on Columbus Avenue.
That's North Waco, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But
Columbus is totally North Waco.
And it's easy to access too.
Yeah, because I slept with somebody in Columbus, so that's North Waco. Yeah.
Okay. Now that we know. So I think that, like I said, I live where I want to work. I talk to the people that so.
No, I got you. I wonder, as a therapist, have there been some story? Obviously, I know that there's a lot of confidentiality that goes with that, so you don't have to name any like clients or particular things. But I do want to ask this. I wonder if there are any stories or clients that you've dealt with that where you were just like, this is too much for me, and I'm not equipped to handle this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, totally. Like, and it's not that like. And it's not that like that person's so messed up that I like don't know what to do. It's just like that's not my specialty. Right. So let me refer you to someone who this is their specialty.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask how you handle that too, because I wonder if like they spill your guts out and then you're just kind of like, I don't know what to do. Yes. What is not Paulina's specialty?
Not Paulina's specialties would be like if you have like an eating disorder and that's like the major problem. Like if it's not trauma and it's like your eating disorder is like your major trauma. I feel like drug abuse, like
really? Okay.
Yes, like which I have worked with people with drug abuse issues because if they're only Spanish speaking, then there's not a lot of Spanish speaking therapists in Waco.
Right.
So I'm like, let me go ahead.
I mean, I know Eminem speaks no Spanish. You know?
Yeah. So I'm like, let me go ahead and help you.
Right,
but
for sure.
So things like that if there's someone that's like better equipped.
Right.
But I also understand that there's like barriers to that because I understand people probably pick me because I look like them.
Well, yeah, I feel like you're very relatable.
Thank you.
And that's why I think that's why I was so like attracted or drawn to you, was because like, okay, you know, when I got the guest list for the empowerment conference, I mean, obviously I know Marl, I knew Dominic, I knew Daniel, who just refuses to come on the show. Shout out to Daniel. Who did right? Didn't Daniel give us like a fucking dissertation on? Yes, he did. And I love him.
You can talk.
Daniel, you can talk, bitch. Come on the show. All right, stop playing. He just does not want to come on the show.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know, anyway, stop. Okay, so I like that you were relatable. When I saw you at the Waco Empowerment Conference and they told me that you were, because we didn't know each other prior to that. Well, I didn't know you.
Yes, no.
Well,
I saw your podcast.
Thank you, Tyler. Okay, but when I saw you, I was like, oh, she just looks like, you know, voluptuous, vacation vibe. She looks regular. You know what I mean? And she did. I guess when I think of therapist, I think of like, you know, suit and tie, you know, skirt, you know, whatever, and you were just regular, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so in the same aspect, do you think that was a disadvantage in your career, the fact that you look so relatable to people?
I feel with certain companies, with certain, you know, like,
but I don't want them suing me now, all right, girl?
certain like, yes, because I think like, you know, I told you I'm in school and I'm the only person with like tattoos and that wears hoops and like dark lip liner and
or whatever. I bet them boys looking at you like, ooh, I want a piece of that.
We're all women cohorts. So
oh, is that right?
Shout out to all my PhD buddies. But yeah, so you're like,
so I'm probably in the lake pond. All right, go ahead.
But yes, I feel like, you know, I'm like, but I really like that. And I think that I want to bring more, like, you could be a therapist and you could look like you.
For sure.
That's it.
I wonder, you as a therapist, Paulina, how do you do your job without being judgmental? Like, I wonder if there is a situation where somebody's telling you something that they did that was pretty deplorable in the eyes of society. We talked earlier about, you know, our experiences in Mexico. And I wonder if there is a situation that has ever been brought to you where you would just, in your mind, or maybe in the back of your mind, this is the part where it gets complex, somewhere in your mind where you're like, oh, fuck you, bitch. But at the same time, there's that other part in your mind that's like, I have a duty and I have to help you through this.
Yes.
Do you face those challenges?
Yes, I think all of us have biases because we were all raised differently. We all have different beliefs, values, morals. And so, of course, like that, those things do come up. But when it comes to therapy, I feel like, and, you know, we talked about a little bit about my past, like I've been humbled so much.
Right.
And the way I tell my clients is like, life has literally grabbed me by my shirt and like pulled me down and like brought me to my knees. And so to me, I'm like, who am I to judge anybody else just trying to be happy?
I got you.
Just trying to like heal,
like
from
move
their trauma.
on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think like, while I do have my own set of values and morals, like that doesn't really, like, of course it does interact with therapy, but it's not at the forefront of it.
So you as a therapist, do you think that society does a bad job at giving people second chances for their mistakes?
Of course.
Really?
Yes. I mean, we all make mistakes. And that was kind of like my point of like the whole empowerment conference is that like people like the sugar-coated version, but the reality is like, let me tell you.
Right.
Like,
well, this is what's going on. And it's like, I tell people that, you know, maybe that are criminals, the difference between them and us is that we didn't get caught. Well, in most cases, you know, there's some, I didn't do what my brother did.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, yeah.
Of course, there are some things that I think like that you're just like not a safe person again, you know, but I think, like you said, like most of us have done things that are illegal or would be illegal.
Or deplorable for that matter, that are looked down upon. You are not perfect because you're a therapist. Yeah.
Yes. And so I always try to tell my clients that, like, look, I'm struggling too.
Okay,
you
we all in the struggle bus, girl. Don't play with me.
Yes.
No, I got you. So in that same aspect, is there ever a time where you feel like, backtrack, has there ever been a time where you had to throw in the towel and be like, I can't do anything for you? Maybe somebody wasn't receptive to the information, or maybe you just felt like this was above and beyond anything that you can handle.
The only time that has ever happened was when the clients weren't ready. So like, if you're ready, I'm ready, you know. But
when you say they're not ready, like, what do you mean?
like, they're not ready to do the work. They're not ready to like really talk about, like, be real. Cause like, you know, like, I'll like sit here and I'll be like, you know, I could be wrong, but I really feel like you're not being honest with me. And so that's really the only times. And that's just like, everybody's ready at different times.
Do you tell that to people? Like, hey, I know you're lying to me.
Yeah.
How do you read somebody lying to you?
I feel like there's like small cues, but like stories don't add up, or like they told me something one week and they told me something different the next week. And again, it's not anything bad, because I feel like we're all just trying to preserve ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell everyone. You could heal now, you could heal in 20 years, you can heal in 60 years. But the truth is that if something's bothering you, it's going to come up until you heal from it.
That's why I just tell everybody to just be true to yourself. If you're gay, just be gay. If you're a dumbass bitch, be a dumbass bitch. No. Okay, I talk. Paulina, I've talked a lot about it. Like, as a gay man, it bothers. Maybe I am biased, right? Because like, I didn't have a hard time coming out. I didn't deal with what everybody else dealt with. Like, in terms of like, I'm going to disown you, or I'm going to, my friends were always or my family for that matter, were always very embracing of just who I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I encourage everybody. It makes me mad when I see people my age or older still acting like we don't know. Do you know, not mad, but like bothered, like who do you think you're fooling here? You know what I mean? And so I just encourage everybody. I don't only speak on the gay thing, you know what I mean? Because that's all I know. And so I always encourage everybody, like, just be yourself. Do you as a therapist have a hard time encouraging somebody to just be themselves?
I think it's easier said than done, you know? And I think I went through things, but I could also understand like other people have gone through harder things. Like what you gave the example of like being gay, coming out. Well, your family was like, okay, you know, but I understand that's not everybody's story. So I think that makes things more difficult.
I feel like that's what gives me a disconnect with the gay community, to be honest. I do. I feel like that's why a lot of them look at me different, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because like, to me, this whole gay LGBT thing, that's just like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, move on.
But some people find it like, I think like a source of empowerment, because they don't have a family that's supportive.
Yes. And so that's where my disconnect is. I need to come see you for therapy. All
Okay,
right. So,
cool.
All right. So Paulina, oh God, I hate that we have to wrap up soon. Does Paulina need therapy now?
Yes, Paulina always needs therapy.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for therapy, and I always tell people, like, if your therapist isn't in therapy, that's like a little questionable. I feel like we should recognize that we also are not perfect and we need help.
Right, for sure. So do you seek other, well, you're seeing Irma Church.
I haven't in a while.
You haven't in a while? or like, I guess here's a good question. You sought therapy. And so I wonder, you who have the skills as a therapist can give yourself therapy.
No, because we bias, like you don't see things like other people see.
Okay.
But I don't think therapy is forever. I think that you could go to therapy for 3 to 6 months, feel better, go live your life. And then you're like, oh my goodness, something else happened, or I feel differently about this situation now I need to go back to therapy.
I got you. Well, God, Paulina, listen, I loved having you on The Public Affair. I think this has been so insightful. We honestly could have talked for like 5 hours.
I could have talked
more. We could have talked more. No, well, we still have a little bit of time. Is there anything that I left out that you might want to bring to the table? Or
I mean, not specifically that I think but I feel like I could have kept talking.
Well, no, like about what? Tell me.
I mean, I don't know. Just like about like everything. I feel like life and therapy.
I got you.
And
so for you in your life, okay. Well, here's a good question before we leave. You as a young teen mom, who had went through the trenches. You know what I mean, and you were able to turn all that around, and now you're going for your doctorate. How do you use your past experiences to encourage your children today? Because you are a mother. You have, what, 2 or 3 kids?
I have 2 kids.
You have 2 kids. And so how do you encourage them to not make the same mistakes that you did, and, to be able to push through life?
I think Honestly, like me being a teen mom isn't like a very relevant topic because I think that my kids are just going through their own lives.
Right.
And I think just encouraging them to be good people. I always tell my kids, I don't care what you do. I don't care what ends up happening. I just want you to be able to support yourself, have a good life, and don't hurt other people.
That's it.
And that's it. Those are the only requirements I
Yeah.
want as a mom.
Do you think you're doing a good job with them following that?
Yeah, I think, my kids are super funny. And I say this mostly as a joke, but my daughter, perfect, beautiful, chef's kiss. My son is questionable. But he's 6, so I feel like,
he's going to be one of them ladies, man, you got to watch out for.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
Yeah.
But it's very humbling to
I got
be
you.
his mom.
Well, listen, Paulina, I've had such the best time with you here on The Public Affair. I wish we had 7 hours. Unfortunately, we don't. We are out of time. But you know what? How can we reach out to you for services in case anybody's watching this episode and is like, I need therapy right now?
Yes. Okay. So one, you can find me on Instagram. It's Paulina_LCSW. I have a little link there so you can request services. Sorry if I haven't gone back to you. I'm really busy. But also like through Psychology Today, and my email is paulina@rootedinresiliency.com.
All right, awesome.
So,
Well, Paulina, listen, if you guys are seeking therapy, if you're a Latino watching this program and you didn't ever think that you were able to seek, Paulina is available for you. And for anybody who is scared to seek therapy,
Yes.
why is that a tongue twister?
Yeah.
I just want to like my S's right now, like I'm Asian. It's because I watched The Karate Kid. But no, but for anybody seeking therapy, make sure you guys hit up my girl Paulina Gonzales. Thank you so much for coming out to this episode of The Public Affair. And what I really appreciated too about you is that you are relatable to us. You look just like us. You know what I mean? And so I think that makes the process easier for a lot of people. And I think that while you probably acknowledge it, I hope that you do to a certain level.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
No, that means a lot.
No, it does, for real. So, Paulina, thank you so much for coming on to the show. For everybody who tuned into this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Paulina Gonzales on Instagram.
Yes.
What's the Instagram handle?
Paulina_LLC.
There you go. And she's booked and busy, but that's okay. We'll post the link.
I'll get back to you, probably.
Yeah. Do you have a website?
I don't have a website yet.
Okay.
But
Booking info.
yes, the booking info, you could just request it and I'll call you back.
We'll post the booking info in the comments.
Okay, that's
yeah.
awesome.
There we go. In the description, make sure in case you guys listen. Thank you guys again so much for watching this episode of The Public Affair. Before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode. This episode is brought to us by Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training. They also have elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes with open play on Mondays and Wednesdays for ages 16 and older. The Public Affair is also a very proud sponsor of the Soko soccer teams, coached by my brother, Mauro Maldonado, who was at the Waco Empowerment Conference. Soko Soccer Academy, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor at my girl, Ana Limones. You can call for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving extra flair to your party or event. She also has a number of wooden backdrops and more as well. Call that number on the screen to Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor with my girl, Ana Limones. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Jesus Sanchez with Brothers Roofing and Remodeling, all the way from Mart, Texas. He's a small construction business from Mart, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. Protect your home from the crazy elements of this nasty weather. Ew, why Texas weather is so crazy, right? With his high quality and affordable work, he also offers financing options as well. Call the number on the screen now to Brothers Roofing and Remodeling. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Pollo Box and Audio with my boy Jeffrey Monreal, home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. Listen, he's pimped my ride to no avail. He has. And if you need tint, go hit up Boil Box and Audio. Girl, you need some tint? Yeah. I'm going to give you Boil Box and Audio's number. It's just on the screen. Just get the number on the screen, okay? Yeah, right?
No,
Your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. Thank you to Boil Box and Audio for being a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. And, of course, to Jay Perez and Henry Flores with Waco Made Contracting. Amongst a plethora of services, Jay and Henry are offering amazing granite quartz countertops, backsplashes, and so much more. He also offers special Public Affair pricing. If you call them on the screen now and inquire about it, jack of all trades and is ready to get everything done in one job. To Waco made contracting with J. Perez, Henry Flores. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public. I love those guys. I need to get them on the show.
Yes.
I do need to get them on the show.
Yes.
They're great. Yes. Okay. Listen, to everybody who's tuned in, we love it. Paulina Gonzalez, thank you so much for coming onto this episode. The wine. I don't know what you did with this wine, girl. You and your therapy. Yeah. No, it's not. But don't forget, Paulina, to always keep it between us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.